Let's talk about a feeling that is so incredibly common, but one that so many of us feel super guilty about. That secret sense of dread when you know you have to have guests over.
Does that sound familiar? You get that text, you get that call, and instead of feeling excited, your stomach just drops? Well, I'm here to tell you you are not alone, and more importantly, it does not make you a bad person.
It is so important to really get this. This feeling isn't some kind of character flaw. No, it's a really complex psychological response. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why it happens. So let's try to reframe this whole thing. This isn't about you being unwelcoming or antisocial. It's about something much deeper. It's literally about how your brain is wired for things like peace, privacy, and a sense of control.
These aren't just minor preferences. For a lot of people, they are fundamental psychological needs. And when those needs feel threatened, our brain's alarm system can go off. And that is exactly what the idea of hosting can do.
Okay, so a huge piece of this puzzle comes down to one simple idea. Your home isn't just a building with furniture. It's your sanctuary. So what happens when that sanctuary suddenly feels like it's being invaded?
Really think about what that word means. Your home is the one place on earth where you don't have to perform. It's your personal recharge station. It's where the mask finally comes off. That is the space we're instinctively trying to protect.
And this is where you can really see the shift happen. On the left, that's your home in its natural state. Relaxation, control, quiet. But the moment guests arrive, boom, look at the right. Relaxation turns into a performance. Your comfortable routine turns into disruption. And your quiet recharge station becomes a stage for nonstop interaction.
And it's all those little things that really add up, Your quiet morning coffee routine? Gone. A peaceful evening you need to decompress? Now it's filled with conversation. And before you know it, you can start to feel completely trapped in your own home.
All this disruption, this feeling of being trapped, it builds into something much bigger. We're not just talking about being a little tired. We're talking about the high cost of hosting, that deep, genuine exhaustion that can come along with it.
And this isn't just in your head. For many people, it's a very real physiological state. Overstimulation is when your nervous system is literally overwhelmed. It's screaming, "This is too much." And that can feel a lot like anxiety or irritation or just a desperate need to escape.
And what's so draining is that it's an attack from all sides, isn't it? There's that constant pressure to be on, to be the perfect host. There's the mental gymnastics of making small talk. And under it all is that quiet fear of being judged. Each one of those things just pokes a little hole in your social battery until it's completely empty. But maybe you're thinking, this feels deeper than just being tired. It feels almost automatic. Well, you're probably right. For many of us, the roots of this feeling were planted a long, long time ago. And it's a pretty straightforward but powerful association. Think about it. If, when you were a kid, guests coming over always meant your parents got stressed, or the house had to be spotless, or there was just this tension in the air, your young brain learned a very simple lesson. Guests equal anxiety. So now, as an adult, just the idea of a visitor can trigger those same old feelings without you even realizing. So, what do we do with all this information? Where does it leave us? Well, it points us toward a path of understanding. The goal isn't to fix a flaw, because you're not broken. It's to reframe this reluctance and see it for what it really is, the expression of a very real and valid personal need.
And this, right here, this is probably the most important takeaway of all. Let it really sink in. Not wanting people in your personal space does not mean you don't like or love those people. In fact, for a lot of people, it's the exact opposite. It's because you value deep connections so much that shallow, performative, small talk in your own home feels draining. You can show you care in countless other ways. A thoughtful text, a one-on-one coffee date. Your house doesn't have to be a hotel to be a good friend.
And at the end of the day, it really just boils down to this. Some people genuinely recharge their batteries by being social. That's their path to peace. Other people recharge through quiet and solitude. Neither way is better or worse. They are just different. And both are 100% valid.
So, the next time you feel that little pang of guilt because you just don't want to host, I want you to remember this. Understanding your limits and protecting your energy isn't a selfish act. It is a sign of high self-awareness. It's a crucial part of taking care of yourself. And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Now that we know people are wired so differently, some for company, some for solitude, how can we start to build our friendships and our family relationships in a way that has more compassion and understanding for everyone's needs? Definitely something to think about.